The story begins in the middle of a dense jungle, where a small house stands isolated. A family lives there, a mother and her two children, Sam and Nolan. They have been living in this house for a long time because the mother believes that the human world has ended. A terrible force, known as evil, has destroyed everything, spreading like a virus. This evil is a shape-shifting entity. When it touches a human, the person loses control, goes mad, and mercilessly harms their loved ones. To deceive its victims, the entity takes on various forms, luring humans to approach it. Once touched, the victim becomes part of the chaos, leading to the destruction of the world. Somehow this family survived. Their house was designed to protect them from evil. Though evil could go anywhere, it could not enter their home. To stay safe, they had a strict rule. If they needed to leave the house, they would use a rope tied securely to the home. This rope acted as their lifeline because evil couldn't touch it or harm anyone attached to it. The rope allowed the mother to venture out safely to gather food and supplies from a nearby greenhouse, where she grew fruits and vegetables. Despite their precautions, survival was tough. The mother was the only one who had seen evil. She warned her children about its tricks, telling them it could appear as an animal or even a person they trusted. She explained that if they ever left the house without the rope and touched evil, everything would be over. Food was always scarce, and even their dog was given very little to eat. Life in the jungle was harsh. To ensure safety, the mother created strict rules and frequently reminded her children of them. She also shared stories to make them understand the dangers outside. One chilling tale she told was about their father. He had been touched by evil, forcing her to kill him to protect the family. She recounted how evil had appeared to her in many forms, once as her father, another time as her mother, and even as her husband. One time, it took the shape of an injured little girl, pretending to need help. Despite the girl's appearance, the mother killed her, knowing it was a trick. One night, as they went to sleep, the mother couldn't rest because of the croaking sound of a frog. Suspecting something was wrong, she went outside to investigate. To her horror, she realized there was no frog. It was evil trying to lure her out. She spotted the terrifying entity, which filled her with fear, but she managed to ignore it and returned safely to the house. This incident revealed just how dangerous evil was and the constant peril the family faced. Each day was a battle against death, as they tried to survive in the shadow of an unrelenting force that could strike at any moment. One morning, the mother decided to go into the jungle with her two children, Sam and Nolan, to search for food. Before leaving, she prayed that their home would protect them. Once in the jungle, she gathered whatever she could find to eat, whether it was frogs, animals, or anything edible. Winters made survival even harder, so she had to accept whatever food she could find. As the family moved through the jungle, it became clear that Sam and Nolan, though brothers, were very different. Sam trusted and followed all the rules set by their mother. He believed her stories and warnings. Nolan, on the other hand, was doubtful. He often questioned his mother's rules and even broke them secretly. He wanted to know what evil looked like and if it was even real. Was his mother just scared? Was the outside world truly destroyed? Was there really any danger out there? Nolan had asked his mother these questions many times, but she always told him that evil was playing tricks on him, planting doubts in his mind to lure him outside. She warned him, "You cannot see evil because it wants you to question me. Step outside and fall into its trap." While searching for food, Nolan noticed a frog egg on the ground below. As he tried to pick it up, one of the eggs slipped and fell. Nolan's rope wasn't long enough to reach the ground. To get the egg, he would have to untie his rope and go down. He was about to do so when Sam stopped him, warning, "If you open the rope, evil will come to you and kill you." Reluctantly, Nolan backed off, but he was still upset. In frustration, Nolan accidentally stepped on Sam's rope, causing it to untie. Sam fell to the ground and got his foot stuck in the tree roots, injuring himself. Because of the stuck rope, Nolan couldn't help Sam. He started whistling to call for their mother. Hearing the whistle, the mother quickly tied her rope and rushed toward them. However, Her rope ran out before she could reach Sam. Determined to save him, she untied her own rope and went down to rescue him. Together they climbed back up to safety. But as they made their way back, an old, hunched woman appeared. The evil. She had a strange, terrifying tongue and began moving toward them. At the last moment, the mother tied herself and her children to the rope. The evil was only visible to her, but the children, seeing their mother's fear, realized it was nearby. Once home, the mother was furious with her children. She decided to test them by asking them to repeat one of her rules. This was her way of checking if they were still themselves, as evil could take over a person's mind. To her relief, both Sam and Nolan remembered the rule, proving they were safe. Grateful, the mother thanked God that her children were still fine. Sam's leg was badly injured, maybe even broken. Back at home, their mom had a small basement-like room where she would lock the children to make them think about evil. She wanted them to imagine it, believe it was real, and feel fear because she believed fear was the key to staying alive. Whenever their mom sat outside the house, evil would come to tempt her. It often appeared as someone familiar, like her husband, and tried to lure her. But she always ignored it. After the incident in the jungle, Nolan's doubts grew stronger. He started questioning whether evil was real at all. He asked Sam, "When your rope came untied, did you feel anything strange? Or see anything?" Sam replied, "I don't remember." But Nolan said, "I remember, and I didn't feel or see anything. I don't think evil is real. Maybe it's all just Mom's imagination. Who knows? The outside world might still exist." Sam, however, wasn't interested in Nolan's theories. He trusted their mother completely. Nolan had trouble sleeping, so their mom tied small bells to his feet to alert her if he got out of bed. She told him, "It's so you don't accidentally leave the house in your sleep." She often shared stories about her past, saying, "I used to live in the city before all this happened. Back then I was a different person. But when the world ended, I had to change completely. I didn't choose to live here. It was the only way to survive." Their mom had a snake tattoo on her neck. She explained, "I've seen evil in the form of a snake many times. I got this tattoo so it won't recognize me." One day Nolan asked, "Mom, isn't it possible that other people are still alive? How is our house the only safe place?" She replied, "You should be thankful you're alive. Don't think too much. This house is the only thing protecting us." As time passed, their food supply ran out. Their mom forced the children to eat tree leaves and branches. Though it was nearly inedible, they had no choice. One night, Nolan had a terrifying dream that evil was pulling him into a well. When he woke up, he found himself outside the house, without a rope. He had walked outside in his sleep and didn't even realize it. His mom quickly found him and brought him back inside. She questioned him and tested him to make sure he wasn't possessed by evil. Then, she locked him in the basement, hoping the fear of evil would cleanse his soul and make him pure. But this incident only convinced Nolan further that evil wasn't real. If evil was real, it would have killed me that night, he thought. He told Sam, "We have to leave. The outside world is still there, and there's no danger. Mom has lost her mind, and if we stay here, we'll die of hunger." Sam hesitated. "But what about Mom? We can't leave her here alone." While they were discussing their plan, their mom overheard everything from outside. Hearing their words deeply hurt her. The next morning, their mom showed the kids her old pictures and camera. She even took a picture of herself with her children using the camera. She did this because she was afraid. "What if my kids leave me?" she thought. Then she told them something heartbreaking. "I'm sorry, but we've run out of food. Now we have to kill the dog and eat it. That will help us survive for a month." Nolan felt terrible hearing this. He loved the dog deeply and couldn't accept what his mom was saying. He started questioning her again. But their mom said, "Do you see? This is all evil's doing. It's making us do this, forcing us into such choices, so it can destroy us all." Reluctantly, their mom prepared herself with a crossbow to kill the dog. But before she could act, Nolan stepped in with a knife in his hand. "There's no evil here. Listen to me," he shouted. He cut the rope his mom was holding and locked her and Sam in the greenhouse. He wanted to prove to them that evil wasn't real and that their fear was unnecessary. But then something unexpected happened. Evil appeared in front of their mom, taking the form of a woman. It moved toward her. Their mom realized she didn't want to die by evil's hands, as it could harm her children next. So, she picked up a piece of glass and cut her own throat to stop evil from taking control. That was how their mom died. Meanwhile, Sam saw what was happening and realized Nolan had locked their mom in the greenhouse without a rope. He ran inside, pushing Nolan aside, but it was too late. When he saw his mom's lifeless body, Sam broke down completely, crying uncontrollably. Seeing Sam's grief, Nolan felt deep regret. He realized he had made a terrible mistake by not listening to his mom. Now he started to believe in evil too, accepting that it was real. In his guilt, he tied a rope to himself as his mom used to do. Sam's condition worsened as he wasn't receiving proper treatment. Losing their mom only made things harder for him. He struggled to survive, trying to follow the rules his mom had left behind. But it was difficult, especially with the ongoing shortage of food. One day, Nolan went into the jungle searching for food. As he wandered, he stumbled upon a road. He shouted for help, but no one answered. On his way back home, a man appeared behind him and said, "I heard your voice calling for help. Are you okay? What do you need?" "I'm a hacker traveling with my son. We were passing by when we heard you." But Nolan didn't trust him. He thought this man was evil in disguise, trying to trick them. Meanwhile, sick and angry Sam came out of the house with his mom's crossbow. He pointed it at the man, his fury fueled by the loss of his mother. The man tried to calm them down. "Listen, I didn't kill your mother. I don't know anything about the evil you're talking about. I've never even met your mom. I'm not here to hurt you. I only came because I thought you needed help. But if you don't trust me, I'll leave." With that, the man walked away, leaving the kids to their fears and struggles. After hearing this, Nolan said to Sam, "Brother, I don't know if he's right, but he's just a human, not evil. Don't kill him." But Sam was too eager for revenge. He couldn't hold back. As the man began to leave, Sam attacked him with the crossbow. The arrow struck the man in the back, injuring him badly. Despite his pain, the man managed to run into the jungle. Nolan followed him and found the man struggling to breathe. Even then, the man was calling for help. Nolan eventually returned home with the man's bag. When he opened it, he found food, some important items, and pictures. These pictures made Nolan realize the man was truly human, not evil. Feeling the pangs of hunger from days without food, Nolan ate. Later that night, Sam heard a voice outside. When he went to check, he found a girl. She told him, "I'm looking for my dad. He told me to stay in the car, but now it's night and he hasn't come back." Hearing this, Sam was shocked. He felt deep regret and sadness. He admitted to the girl, "I thought your dad was evil. That's why I killed him by mistake." Terrified by his words, the girl started running away. Sam chased after her, but his fear got the better of him. He began seeing evil everywhere around him. The scene then shifted to Nolan, who had gone into the jungle to find his brother. But Nolan felt as if evil had taken control of Sam. When he returned home, he found Sam in the same room, but something was off. Sam wasn't the same anymore. He had completely changed. Sam tried to kill Nolan and then set their house on fire. He trapped Nolan inside, where Nolan saw visions of their mother. Nolan managed to escape by hiding and confronting the harsh truth. Because of the fire, rescuers came and saved both of them from the jungle. When Nolan was brought outside, he saw something shocking. The world wasn't destroyed. It was all a lie their mother had told them. In reality, the world was still thriving and inhabited. Nolan realized his mother had kept them isolated, lying about the world outside. She had done this to stop the evil from leaving their family and spreading. She feared that if they went outside, evil would follow and destroy the entire world. In the final scene, Sam's camera was shown lying in the jungle, along with a picture he had taken when he set the house on fire. In the picture, a hand rested on Sam's shoulder, the hand of evil. This revealed that evil was real but confined only to their family, not the outside world. Now, with evil having gone out into the world with Sam, it seemed there was no way to stop the destruction that might follow. Perhaps their mother's warnings were true, and the evil would destroy the entire world. And with this grim realization, the story ended on a dark, unsettling note.